Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You, too, could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Welcome to the Unscripted podcast. My name's Corby LaCroix, and the song you're hearing right now is called Great and Mighty One, available on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. But for now, here's your host and my friend, Aaron Conrad.
Great Redeemer, God of grace.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Unscripted from my studios here in Hilliard, Ohio. And I'm really excited today because I'm wearing the hat. I mean, what else can I say? Like, I'm a cougar for life. And anyway, let my guest introduce himself, and then we got a lot to talk about. So let my guest introduce himself.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, Aaron. My name is Chip Wilson. I'm the Director of Athletics at Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Just finished up my third year in this role. Previously, coaching was my career, coaching track and cross country here at MVNU, and going even further back. For 11 years, I was a public school teacher, middle school, and 1 year in the elementary in the 4th and 5th grade levels. So that's a little bit about my background. And of course, married to my wife, we just celebrated 18 years, which is crazy. Just celebrated 18 years on June 19th. And
awesome.
We have two kids, my son Cole and my daughter Emma. They're 15 and 13. So very thankful for my wife and kids.
So we both have daughters named Emma. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. See,
Great
a lot of connections.
Alike, yeah.
A lot of connections right out of the gate. But you and I met at a baseball game 2 years ago. I don't remember. It was outside. We'd never met before in person, and so it was a chance just to meet. But I have to tell you this story. I put it on social media, but if anybody missed it, this whole conversation is really cool to me because, any regular listener knows I got a 13 in my ACT. I guess I embraced that. I just wasn't applied in high school. I did not care. And Mount Vernon accepted me. And I graduated from Mount Vernon. I had an incredible experience. My best friends in life are from Mount Vernon. So I'm forever thankful to Mount Vernon. And what's funny is inside my home is another individual who is now a Mount Vernon Nazarene University Cougar, played 3 years of baseball there. And so my son, Austin, had the opportunity to actually be an athlete at Mount Vernon. My daughter went through the recruiting process with Mount Vernon and many other Crossroads League schools and is now at Grace College. And we'll talk about that in a minute because I want to talk about the Crossroads League. But anyway, I'm forever grateful to Mount Vernon. And then when you and I had this conversation just a few weeks ago about the opportunity that I think we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, man, what a special moment for me as a person to know that Mount Vernon accepted me. I was able to graduate, and now to be able to partner together with a little business that I've created is it's pretty special. So I just want to start off before we do anything else and say thank you.
Yeah, man, that's great. I love to hear stories like that, and that hat still looks good on you too, by the way. Yeah,
I had to pick up a new one when my son was pitching there. So yeah. No, man, it's been great. So let's touch about that. We've talked about this really quickly. The Crossroads League. You called me and you were leaving Indianapolis. I hope we're allowed to talk about this. Welcome to Unscripted. But you were leaving Indianapolis and you were leaving an AD convention or some kind of a gathering. And I said, man, how hard is it? Because for any listener that is not familiar, and you may explain this better than I do, but Mount Vernon, and then is there one other one that's not in Indianapolis, Michigan?
There's one Ohio, we're the Ohio, and one Michigan. That's Spring Arbor.
Spring Arbor. Okay, so anybody that's not familiar, the Crossroads League is, I don't know how many teams in Indianapolis, you can clarify. There's Mount Vernon, and then there's one in Michigan. So understand that Chip's job as the AD is to figure out how to get his teams on road games pretty much all going to Indianapolis, unless they're or Indiana, because you have. So who are the ones in Indiana? IWU, Grace, obviously.
We have eight schools. It's a 10-team league, and I will say this: there are many challenges with it, but I'm incredibly thankful. It is such a great league. Great colleagues from other schools and great programs. It is a very high level performing league, but also a very professional league and a very caring league. There's all 10 schools are faith-based leagues. We're part of the NAIA organization. So it's us in Spring Arbor. There's 8 Indiana schools, several in Fort Wayne. So a little bit on the east side, a little closer there, I guess you want to call it close, but we have Huntington University, St. Francis University, Grace College, Taylor University, Indiana Wesleyan, Bethel, Goshen, and Marion. I think I got them all there. Yeah. They're all great schools, and travel's a headache for sure. But very thankful for the opportunity to be in the league.
And to your point, what we talked about was the fact that it's so literally none of this is disrespect to the Crossroads League. It's an incredible league, incredible universities, incredible competition. Yes. And, so it's all wonderful. It's just, I just wanted everybody to understand the logistics of what you as an AD have to deal with. And that's a 3-hour trip at least for every road game. You're hopping in a bus or however you guys get there. Yeah. So it does present some challenges as an AD. For and so even more respect for you as that AD.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think, IWU probably just runs 45 minutes. I don't know. Hour. I don't even know my Indiana very well, but they're probably just a quick trip over to Grace for a game, and you all are packing it up and heading across the state. So that's right. Much respect for what you have to deal with as logistically.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So what we jumped on today for, and what we want to really talk about is, I'm so excited. I really am. The Youth Leadership Summit. This is the very first one. And so why don't you talk about your passion? And I know you had sent me the information, and I said I'm on board. So why don't you let everybody else know what's this all about?
Sure. So this is something that has been on my heart for a couple of years. I think as I have grown personally, this is starting to come out in terms of organizing something of this nature based on my heart for just young people. Maybe going back to my days as a middle school teacher and then a high school coach, college coach. And I think that at one point I viewed myself, my identity was in that role as a teacher, as a coach, as now an AD. But I think as I have developed as a person, that's really just a platform, for investing in people. Mm-hmm. And, I think of myself and my personal growth, and man, I had a 40th birthday last month. And so, I've hit a new decade now. So, trying to see things in a different way, I guess. But, I really want, young men, we live in a crazy world, and this is not about societal, political issues at all. Right. This is really more just about, valuing people. And so this event is geared toward 14 to 18-year-old young men. And really the mission of this Youth Leadership Summit is to present opportunities over the course of a couple days here on the campus of Mount Vernon Nazarene University for these individuals to be exposed to information where they can listen, but also engage in ways that they can become more self-aware, that they can learn about themselves and really discover their passions and what to do with those passions. Because I want them to feel uniquely created. I mean, regardless of, what more they get out of this, I really want everybody to feel that they are uniquely created for a purpose. And I know that we can't solve all the issues and get everybody to where they need to be in 2 days. But I do want this to be maybe a starting point that they can build on for later. But that's a quick summary of the mission of this event.
And so when you approached, when we exchanged some text, as soon as I saw this, as a dad of one son and two daughters, this is for young men, but I was immediately in because I agree with you. I share that passion. There's so many distractions. There's so much vying for their attention right now. Yeah. And I honestly, our future is going to be determined by how we raise up young men and young women right now, because there's a lot going on. The Supreme Court just made their decision today. Sure. There's a lot happening right now, and there's a lot vying for their attention. And honestly, we can raise our children in our homes, or we can allow TikTok and Twitter, and I'm a big social media guy. I love me some TikToks. They crack me up, but at the end of the day, I don't want them raising my kids. I've seen, what's out there, the Instagram reels and TikToks and Facebook and whatever else, man. There's a lot out there vying for their attention. And if we're not intentional with our kids, especially our young men, that you and I think would say, there's a lot of things that will raise them for us. And we have a choice. And so I'm so thankful that a place like Mount Vernon Nazarene University is taking this opportunity to just for a weekend, for a few days, step into their lives. Yeah.
I had, when I was teaching in the public school, I taught 6th grade reading and English, and 7th grade, these were different years, but 7th grade social studies. And I did teach 1 year of a 4th and 5th grade split with social studies and reading and English. But I had a poster in my classroom, and it said, it sounds a little bit cliche, I know, but it said, if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything.
Absolutely.
And I think about, me, and I want to be very clear. I mean, I'm a lifelong learner, and so I don't have it all figured out myself, and I'm still learning about myself. But I also know that young men, again, that and all young people, all people in general, I guess, but we need to know what we stand for, and so this is not a couple days where we are going to be telling them what they believe. Not at all. This is hopefully giving them opportunities to reflect and really present some strategies for them to discover what they believe and who they are as a person. And so I do want to be very clear. And I also want to mention this too. MVNU Athletics is hosting this, but this is not an athletic event. Right. We are so much more than coaches in this office down here. We're really developers of people, developers of young men, developers of young women. And so, yes, we want to win games. Don't get me wrong. Right. But this is really more geared toward a broader person. So you do not have to be a student athlete for this to be relevant for you to attend.
It's funny because my daughter, so we're North Carolina fans, as you can tell by the colors.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just, anyway. So she was raised to be a North Carolina fan. And honestly, she's my middle daughter, and she may be embarrassed if I say this, but of the three of them, she had the best shot to go to North Carolina. I mean, she had the grades, she had the goods. And I remember early in her recruiting process, she said, I just want to stay in the Crossroads League. And the reason why I share that is because the Crossroads League and schools and universities like Mount Vernon, it's about character, and it's about a lot more than just athletics. And that was why she said, she could have gone to the ACC for goodness sake. And she said, I want to stay in the Crossroads League. I'll never forget that, because I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever heard that before. Most kids want to go Big Ten, ACC, SEC, whatever it is. And she said, I just want to be in the Crossroads League. So I think there's so much more there. And that's why someone, to partner with a Mount Vernon is so just such an honor for me. But let's run down the lineup, because there's some really good people. And honestly, there's one I want to meet. I just told you that offline. Yep. I can't wait to meet. So who's the lineup of speakers?
Yes, we have a really good lineup. Very thankful for these men. They share. And I invited them to be a part of this because they do share in the same passion of investing in young men. One of them, I had the privilege to work with this person. So his name is Kurt Roberts. Kurt was a former professional track and field team member of Team USA. Wow. And so really made a run for the Olympics back in the 2014, 15, 16, that era. And man, he just has a passion for people. He is currently an elementary gym teacher. Wow. And also is a track coach here at MVNU as our throwing coach. And when I approached him, he had this on his heart. That's a story for another day, but he was looking at doing something similar to this, but was looking for a platform. And so he'll be joining us. So very thankful for that. We also have Tavares Taylor. Tavares he's a motivational speaker, and just an incredible speaker. But his day job, I guess, is he's our director of intercultural life here at Mount Vernon Nazarene. And Tavares is really fun to talk to, and if you get a chance to talk to him, he does speak multiple languages. Wow. So occasionally he'll throw in a few words, and you have to say, "Hey, man, come on, English. That's all I know. Come on." But he is a terrific person. He's been here for a few years, been here 2 years at MVNU, and came to us from Point College in Georgia. But has a great background. A third speaker is Jared Ronay. Jared is our head men's basketball coach here at MVNU, and really has developed a culture that is great for our school. It's great for the program. And this has been a long time. Men's basketball at MVNU is just historically is a phenomenal program. Absolutely. And Jared has done a great job the last several years in that role. And then thank you for this next speaker. But Gary Miracle, I'm incredibly thankful and excited to have him be a part of this as well. But just a strong Christian man. And, I am looking forward to having Gary involved in this as well, and to speak with him in person, which would be great. So, and a side note too, those are our main speakers. We are also going to have some. We have a number of our head coaches are going to be investing a few minutes of their time publicly speaking to the group and spending time with them as well in the few days that they're here. We'll have a number of our student athletes as well, and MVNU students as a part of this as well. And I guess from a speaking role, and their role is just going to be a little bit different, not necessarily speaking, but more so involved in other ways.
And I have to tell the story about Gary Miracle. So I reached out to him, and immediately he replied back, "I'm in." Like there wasn't a convincing to be done. And I don't know the other three. I can't wait to meet them. But just speaking just for the one, I know Gary was incredibly excited to be a part of something like this and to pour back into youth and young men. And so those not familiar, and I mentioned this to you, Gary was a 2-time state champion in track in Florida. Think about the size of the state of Florida, and he was a 2-time champion. And then is now, if you're not familiar, watch the Mercy Me video called Say I Won't. Pull it up on YouTube and watch his story, and I guarantee you'll be moved. But he's now a quadruple amputee and is just doing amazing things for God, and he's changing lives. And so this was a no-brainer. You mentioned 4 things that were going to be kind of topics. Do you want to touch on that really quick, what those 4 things are for kind of the weekend, the themes?
Sure. So different themes that we have. And again, these are really more universal. There's going to be some athletic things. We have, some athletic minded people involved, but again, not geared toward just student athletes, but, right. One area we're going to be talking about is just really the power of perspective. That's something that I think when you can put yourself, we're selfish people by nature. We're very much, we look through a certain lens, and we may look at things with an agenda, but just that power of perspective is going to be included in how we lead this event. But again, sharing ideas of how to step out of that singular lens and look through a more broader lens at others, and leading a life of service towards others, and where that might lead. Another thing too, again, you think about this from an athletic standpoint, but how to be a good teammate, and automatically as an athletically minded person, you think, well, that's all about athletics, but really, man, think about being a good teammate in your home as a father, right? With parenting. Man, my wife is my teammate. My kids are my teammates. There's a lot of things that are going to be touched on, and just aspects of being a good teammate. We're also going to be taking a look too at, and I know it's a hot topic, but mental health. We're going to be touching on that as well, and communicating through that. But I'm really excited to learn from that one as well. But
right.
We're going to be touching on that, and then also this idea of discovering passions. So I think about it in three ways. So, passion, vision, and leading. I remember, my dad, when I've changed career paths, going from a teacher to a college coach to my role now, I remember one of the comments my dad made to me about, I said, I feel this passion in my heart for athletics and this. And he said, but is that my own selfish thoughts? And he said, well, who do you think put those passions in your heart?
Right.
He said, I fully believe God put those in there for you to listen to, and to help lead you and guide you. And, and that's a small tidbit of my background, but, discovering passion and what to do with that passion, creating a vision for that passion, and then how to step out into a leadership role in maybe something organized like this event, or maybe something bigger. But that's really a quick summary of the topics that are going to be discussed. I'm excited too for our main speakers, of course, but then we're going to have a lot of time, for these young men to have conversations and discuss what they've heard and reflect on what they've heard as well.
Awesome. So some breakout sessions and some
breakout sessions. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And I will tell you, my biggest concern going into COVID and the shutdown was, and I think if you go back in the history of this podcast and listen to podcasts during the shutdown, because I have 3 kids, my biggest concern was their mental health.
Yeah. Obviously
COVID was real, and I'm not here to talk about that, but I was always concerned about isolating them from their friends. Yes. All those things. There's so much we could talk about there, but ultimately my biggest concern all along was mental health. And I think we're seeing, even for us as adults, the ramifications of, we were meant to be together. We were meant to be with people. We were meant to be in community. And, that was the silent, and now I'm on a little bit of a rant, but that was the silent offshoot of all that we just went through the last 2 years, is that mental health piece. But what I'm thankful for is athletes like Kevin Love and many others that have come forward and said, I got a problem. Yes. And, and I'm okay to admit it. And now what I love seeing is the fact that mental health is being discussed, because it wasn't before. So I'm so glad you guys are covering that at a young age. Let's let these young men understand it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to say I'm struggling. It's okay to say I need help. Because if not, left to our own devices, man, we'll find other places, and that's not where we want to go. Yeah.
And I actually heard this in a sermon yesterday, but everybody has a story, but not everybody has a listener. And, I want these young men to know that we're here to listen. We're not here to cast judgment or anything else, but I want them to feel they're in a safe place, that they have men who have experienced some of the things that they're going through, maybe not fully, but to a degree. We're a little bit more ahead in life, and we've experienced some things, and we're willing to listen to their story, however much they want to share. But I think that's so true. So
just to have a seat at the table of grace, man. For them to understand that you and I understand grace, we've been through it, and we're still understanding grace, but to have them understand grace, both for themselves and then extending it to others is huge. So, all right, let's talk logistics for the weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
Where do they sign up? Let's start very first. Where do they sign up? Where's the link?
Yeah. So the link is on our MVNU. It's MVNUcougars.com. It's under our camps and clinics section. There's an icon on the left side there. But there's a flyer there with more information, but also a registration form as well. MVNUcougars.com.
Okay. And so it's Friday, Saturday, correct?
It's Thursday, July 21st.
Okay.
Through Saturday, July 23rd.
Okay.
So it's about 48 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the evening of Thursday, the 21st, and then we're going to wrap up the evening of Saturday, the 23rd.
Can mom and dad drop them off, or if
Absolutely.
they can drive, can they drive themselves?
Yeah, either or. And so if they can definitely drive themselves, we have plenty of parking if they're going to be leaving their cars there for the few days. But mom, dad, and grandma, grandpa, whoever, if they're getting a ride there, they
just get them there.
They are welcome to get them there. And I would say this too, that parents come in and meet us. If you want to, you're going to be leaving your sons for a few days on our campus, and come in and meet us. And, we're going to be starting off with our registration, and then we're going to be going right to dinner, just a chance to have dinner. And then we'll have an opening session later on after dinner that night of the 21st.
And meals and housing are all on campus, right?
Meals and housing are all apart. Yeah. They're all on campus. There's no need for transportation, for the few days. And so all housing is going to be right on campus on our main campus of MVNU. We have air conditioned apartments. There's going to be 5 or 6, and we're going to try to group them by age as best as we can. Nice. But they will be housed with a mentor leader will be in their apartment with them. Awesome. But there will be 5 or 6 attendees in each apartment with a mentor leader in their apartment as well. That will be there with them overnight. And we do have 24 hours round the clock campus safety as well. So make sure we note that. But then all meals are going to be right in our MVNU cafeteria. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. And again, that's all part of the registration cost. It's all inclusive.
Awesome. And then mom and dad can pick them up, or they can drive themselves home Saturday
evening. We're going to wrap
Saturday
up at 6 p.m. on Saturday evening, the 23rd. Yep.
Okay. It may be honestly, this is one of the best investments you can make right now. I know times are tough with gas prices and everything else. Lord only knows, but, boy, this is a great investment to make in your young man if you can get him there.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And so, if there's any questions, people can reach directly out to me, or through email, through phone. My number and email are on the registration information page.
And honestly, I'll extend mine too. Aaron at myunscripted.com, or any replies we get, we'll forward on to you all. But please don't miss this opportunity. And again, I just want to state again how thankful I am to partner with you on this. I'm looking forward to being there, whatever capacity we are there, and just shaking some hands and seeing some young men's lives really impacted.
Yeah. That's great, man. I want to note too, there's going to be service opportunities, awesome. for our young men as well. So, this isn't going to be just listening and, reflecting. There's going to be some action as well nice. That we're going to be active. And so, just come ready to listen, but also come ready to share opinions, and come ready to do some hard things through service. We'll see.
Nothing wrong with that. That. Are you still looking for other potential partners? If anyone's listening to this and wants to partner with you all and with Mount Vernon, are you still looking for that?
We are. Yeah, we're still looking for, one or two partners with this. If anybody is interested, again, you can feel free to reach out and let me know if you're interested.
Awesome. Well, brother, I'm so excited. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your leadership in the AD seat, in this seat, and then everything that you're doing to impact people at the campus. I'm forever thankful for Mount Vernon. I mean that. I meant it when the post wasn't about me. It was about Mount Vernon, because without Mount Vernon, I don't know what I'd be today. I wasn't supposed to be somebody. And I don't know if I'm somebody today, but I know I'm a better person because I was able to and accepted by Mount Vernon. And for that, I'm forever thankful.
Man, I appreciate you, Aaron. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right. We will look forward to seeing you in just about a month. It'll be over in a month, right?
Yeah.
It's coming quick. It's coming quick. All right. So one more time, link, if anybody hears it, what's the link? MVNUcougars.com, and it is under the camps clinics section. Yeah, I think it's the very first thing, right?
It'd be on the left side there for you. Yep.
There you go. And ages
14 to 18. This particular event is for young men. And I'll just make a quick note: be on the lookout for a fall event for young ladies. So we're working through that with some of our female coaches and leaders here as well.
Well, I may have some more partners for you for that.
All right.
Teaser alert. We may be partnering again on that. But yes, I can't look forward to it. So, all right, let's get our young men there. Let's support Mount Vernon for everything that they do. And really, ultimately, let's support our young men. And thankful for all those that are going to be involved. Look forward to seeing you in about a month.
Yeah, sounds great, Aaron. Look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Unscripted podcast. Make sure to like, share, follow, and review on your favorite podcast platforms. Also, make sure to check out my song Great and Mighty One on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find your music. We'll see you next time on Unscripted with Aaron Conrad.